Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Wednesday. It is Self-Care Wednesday. Self-Care Wednesday. Here we are. I'm going to do things a little differently today. I'm going to kind of draw on Friday's experience, or the Friday experience for today's self-care. But I'm going to start with this first. So, good morning, Sammy. I saw a heart come flying up the screen. It's like, ooh, who's on? Sammy. Good morning. I think it's still morning where you are. Yep, it's only 11:30 there, so it's my mutt twin. My mutt twin. Alright, there's one. Yeah, that would be nice. Alright, this whole thing flew out. So, yikes. I don't know, these feel like, oh, okay, maybe not. Alright, well, the first self-care tip, plan a trip. Yeah, that's not always easy for people, but hey, you know what? This is when you really can put your manifestation skills to work. You know, see how they work. Yeah, she says she has a itty bitty little bit of a morning left. Yes, you do. I'm like, duh, you're only 3 hours ahead. So, if you want to plan a trip, plan a trip. You know, it doesn't even have to be far, right? I mean, you can take a staycation and just go visit things around you, or you can save up pennies and stuff and go do something fun. Or if you don't have if you don't have two nickels to rub together, then again, this is where you can really kind of work in your manifestation skills. You know, practice it. And truly believe. Remember what I said, this or something better. So don't necessarily say, oh, I want a trip to this specific place. Well, that specific place may not be meant for you to visit just yet. So just say, I'm so happy and grateful for the money to go on vacation. A really nice vacation, to treat myself, to spoil myself. Okay, so plan a trip. The next one, sweet treats. I know not always easy, especially if you have an eating disorder or an emotional eater like me, which is also considered an eating disorder. But every so often is not bad. And you can practice your moderation, right? If you feel like, if you feel too scared, just take a bite, throw the rest away. All right, and I don't mean go slamming yourself into the trash trying to find it. I mean, just go out to the dumpster, go out to the trash can, throw it in somewhere you won't look at it again. Or even take half of it or cut it into fours and, see how long it can take you to eat the whole thing. So sometimes when we work ourselves back into a place where we feel comfortable enough to start, getting back into the treats, use moderation. Moderation isn't always easy, but practice makes perfect, right? Good morning, Catherine. So take a walk. Take a walk. This is your third self-care tip of the day. Take a walk. Walks can be amazing. Now, I admit there's not a lot of nature where I live. I have to drive to it to find it. But also not a bad thing, right? So I figured out my solve. I'm just going to set up the treadmill. I have this one site I watch on YouTube where it's called the Watched Walker, and they walk through England, right? So I figured I'll take little Blue, my little computer, and put them up on the treadmill and just pretend I'm walking somewhere else. So otherwise you can go to parks, or you can go to the county here where I live. The county has quite a few parks, and you can do mini hikes and stuff like that. Take a bath. Take a bath. Now, I know we all shower and sometimes just soaking in a nice bath by candlelight. Careful with the fire. Don't set anything on fire. It can be relaxing. It can be nice. Get some essential oils, or maybe an essential oil bubble bath. So, all the good things. Meditate. Meditate. It's not always easy, guys. I know when you're first starting out, you might fall asleep. You know what? I still fall asleep sometimes, but I think that's good for me because my mind is quiet. So a lot of times I will actually meditate before I go to bed. I just try to quiet the mind. But if you can, sit up. You can sit in a chair, okay? I think it's a misconception that we have to sit cross-legged on a pillow on the floor. You don't have to. Whatever way is comfortable for you, wherever it's quiet. You can even go into the bathroom and just sit there. And, it's about quiet time. It's about clearing the space in your mind to let, the positive stuff flow back through. All right? So, meditate. Connect with your womb. Okay, I'm not really sure how to explain this one, but if you still get your period, I still get my period. I know, TMI. But it's like, oh, seriously? I thought when I hit a certain age, that was it. I mean, my mom and my grandma menopaused early, so it's like, okay, where is it? When's it happening? And it's not. My period regulated. So about 5 years ago, it's like, what is happening? At the time I thought I was going to menopause, I started regulating. So, but connect with your womb. Instead of being angry at your womb once a month, or, you know, if you're me, thinking, well, great, why do I have a period? I'm obviously not going to have my own family. But I guess you never know. Life throws us curveballs. But connect with your womb. The womb is where everything begins, right? It's where everything begins. So even if you're a dude, all right, connect with your womb. Maybe you don't have a physical one, of course, but mentally, because that's where we all gestate, right? Everything. That's where we all gestate. That's where we are born. It's our little cocoon before we come out the butterfly, right? So we start out this little tiny thing and poof, a baby. So, reconnect. And I think what this is really saying is connect with your inner feminine, your sacred feminine, where all life begins, okay? I know sometimes it can be hard when we get through life, but remember, you pushed your way out of a tiny little space. Or someone cut you out. Depends on the situation, I guess. But yeah, I'm really tripping over this one. I mean, not tripping like, whoa, I'm tripping. I mean, like, I'm tripping over it with how to talk about it, because it's slowly coming to me, right? That it's about going back to the beginning. Going back to the beginning. Even if you don't have your own womb, it's about going back to the beginning. It's about, becoming that butterfly again, reminding yourself, hey, I've survived all these things. I can survive more, but instead of surviving, I want to thrive through more. I want to really kind of pick up my life and just, be excited about it. Make a vision board. Vision boards can be fun to make. Now this one, they're just making their whole wall like a vision wall, but vision board, it can be anything, like literally. I mean, I know you can't see my wall, but literally can be anything. So, just things that bring you joy, maybe goals that you have. But, don't just make the vision board. Believe in it. Okay? Believe in it. Remind yourself that all things are possible. Okay? All things are possible. It may not seem like it, but it is. You are a magnet for good things. Repeat that. Okay? I am a magnet for good, positive things. And then you can change the wording at the end. I'm a magnet, blah, blah, blah. So you can fill it in the blank however you want, as long as it's good and positive. It's negative, use your hands, right? Use your hands. So you can create things, you can make things. I make things like these, my little earrings. Sometimes I get inspired. Lately my inspiration has been dead. It's like writer's block and creative block. But I'm getting back to it, and I'm getting back into that feel of things and that kind of getting the wheels spinning again. So like I said at the beginning, I'm going to toss this up a little bit, because I know we do a lot of traditional things, like we picked I'm pointing at the box right now as we speak, we picked the self-care tips, the self-care ideas. But what was funny is I was lifting up a bag to move it this morning, and I didn't realize this deck was sitting inside of there. And in fact, I was looking for it not too long ago. On Friday, I was looking for this deck. I'm like, where the hell did it go? But yeah, it was, for some reason, I never took it out. So I think it was meant to be for today, the healing with the fairies. And you know what? Don't worry about the word fairies, okay? If you want to call them nature angels, call them nature angels. And this one also was something like I felt like I wanted to do for myself this morning. And I thought, you know what? Let's just do it for Self-Care Wednesday. So I'm going to start with the healing with the fairies deck, and we're going to finish with the heal yourself reading cards. And, I know this may not be for a lot of people, but please, 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 please hang in there, because self-care tips can come from the most amazing places. I only work from a good place. So these aren't oracle cards today. They are cards that are going to guide us into whatever healing we might need right now, or give us ideas on, what bits and pieces we can heal. I am a personal believer in past lives. And the funny thing is, when I started this journey quite a few years ago, it was really a journey of self-discovery, but I have to be honest, it took me forever to get where I'm at today, because Change scares me. Doing the hard work scared me for a long time. I would probably say that my true journey has only been really in the last 2 years, when I really kind of buckled down and said, hey, you know what, I've got to figure this out. I've got to figure this out. And trust me, your journey does not have to be years long. That's why I do the Self-Care Wednesday, because I'm trying to help you not be afraid. I'm trying to help you to embrace change, how to, instead of running away from fear, run at it. Run at it and punch it in the face. If fear is literal, like somebody, just, run to the nearest police station, okay? Don't try to take that on by yourself. But I mean, in the non-literal sense, if you have something you're afraid of, instead of continually running from it, run at it. I ran from my grief when my mother passed away. I ran from my grief when Sissy passed away. I ran from my grief when my friend from work passed away. And, and then I overcompensated when a family member of mine lost, their spouse. So it's just, I overcompensated in another direction because I couldn't focus on my own grief. So I tried to push them through theirs, and, that doesn't work. You can't make people do something. The only person we can fix is ourselves. We can help guide people. We can, throw these kind of things at them, the healing, and, give them ideas, but we can't do it for them. And that's the sucky part too, because it would have been nice if somebody would have been able to do it for me. But there were a lot of truths I had to face. And I know they can be hard, but this is why self-care and self-love is so important. They are probably the two most basic but priceless tools that you will ever have in your human belt, in your human life belt. Self-care is not selfish. It is necessary. When we drain ourselves so much, we are incapable of doing for others. And if, we push ourselves beyond that limit, we end up physically manifesting bad things. And by that, I mean, we might be too tired. We might, then you kind of go into if you're like me, sometimes you have mental health issues, you might go into a spiral and you won't even know why. You'll just sit there like, why is this happening to me? And then you might be in the midst of it when you realize, oh my gosh, it's because I haven't been taking care of myself. I've been spending so much time taking care of everybody else that I haven't really taken care of my own needs. Self-love. When you walk past a mirror, don't do that. Don't do that. I've spent my lifetime doing that. It doesn't help. It doesn't work. All it does is reinforce this negative image that you already think of yourself. And, maybe you have people that give you compliments and you struggle to accept those compliments. Don't. There's nothing wrong with saying thank you. That's very kind of you to say. People, 9 times out of 10, people are going to tell you exactly how they feel. They're not going to lie to you. I will never give a compliment I don't mean. And I mean that. And I mean, I don't know. I have to tell you, I was talking about the movie that I saw last week with older sibling, and now I really have to rethink how honest I am with people. And it's like, but I mean, I do. I don't give a compliment I don't mean. And, fortunately, I've never been put in a position where it's something I haven't liked. And I'll be honest, like if someone puts something in front of me, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever tasted. It's like, yeah, it's okay. I'm not a big fan. But, that's being honest and being fair, because you don't want this to be something where somebody just throws things at you, right? I mean, this movie left me thinking I will never look at leaf earrings or cardigan V-neck vests the same again. Or cashmere V-neck, sweaters the same again. I never will. Because I get it, when somebody gives you something and you're like, oh my God, I love this. Then all of a sudden it's like, maybe you love that particular thing. But next thing you know, every year is the same damn thing. And you're kind of like, whoa. If it's a character, yeah, sure, okay, shopping for sibling is hard because she loves Dumbo, and Dumbo's not the easiest thing to find. But I have found that she loves when I make her, earpieces, ear art. We'll call it ear art. When I make her ear art. And I'm not sure if she always likes it, and I would hope that if she did not like it, she would tell me. But, because, if she doesn't like it, I can sell it. So, But and I can always go back to the drawing board. I do want people to be honest with me. Sometimes I get why people may not be overly honest with us, because it can hurt, and you don't want to push people back into their corner. You want to guide them out and really kind of love them. But just know that sometimes I think when people tell us a white lie, I really do think it comes from a place of love. I have been on this journey where I'm not sure how often I'm not even sure if I've done a white lie, because everything about me has been about honesty, only because I've had to do so much work in therapy. I've had to do so much work and be honest with myself that I want people to be honest with me, even if it hurts. I asked older sibling, I said, just, you have your little fantasy moments, right? It's like, if I ever had a chance to live in London, do you think I'd survive? And she's all, yes, but. And I was like, oh, what's the but? And she's like, yes. And she didn't say the but at first, but I'm like, but. And she's like, well, but I think it'll be hard. I think it'll be hard for you at first. And that was a fair and honest assessment, because I thought, we were watching Ted Lasso, and I'm like, wow, it'd be so cool to live there. And I'm all, do you think I'd be able? I said, do you think I'd make it? Do you think I would be able to do it? And she's like, I do, but I think it'd be hard for you at first. And I was kind of like upended by that. It's like, wait, what? What do you mean? I always thought of myself as being very adaptable to places. But I do see your point. And, but that's part of the adventure, right? Is figuring it out. So anyways, let's get to the healing things, and just know that like I said, your healing doesn't have to take as long as mine. And see, this is why I say the Aloha perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything, because I literally sidetracked, didn't I? I was talking about past lives, and I realized that one of the cards of the day that I posted yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, was Isis, the Egyptian goddess. And it was about past lives. And it was saying, maybe there's a past life that you have to heal. And I realized the one I started with, that I thought I healed all those years ago, was the one I actually had to circle back to. Because I realized as I was writing them down yesterday, I was just doing some journaling. I didn't even get to the third life that I know I've had. I got to the second one, I thought, because it just kept pounding in my head. It's this life, it's this life, it's this life. And I thought, oh my God, that's the one I started with. And so I really kind of meditated on it. And, I know this isn't for everybody. I know past lives aren't for everybody. But for me, and if you're not into that, it's about going deep. It's about seeing, where am I holding myself back? And the reason I think that was a good example for me, going back to that very first past life that I knew I had, that somebody actually told me was my life. And the funny thing is, here's the funny thing. They kept saying, I see this name in my head. They didn't even know who this person was. All right. I mean, I think sometimes people just forget, or it's not really their thing. And, it was a literary author. And I was just kind of like, wow. And then it's like, it's right there in the name, but I had to do some introspection, some real hard, heavy lifting shadow work. And boy, when I started to line up things from then and now, it's scary how much they almost fit. The choices, the bad choices, the choices made for somebody else to make other people happy, the choices to not take care of oneself, to not have that self-love, to not have that self-care, to just constantly be in somebody's back pocket and at their whim, or trying your best to take care of somebody else, and then latching onto their life because you're lonely and you're sad, and you just push things away that might actually end up being good. And I was like, damn. Damn. So anyways, come on, healing fairies, let's do something here. There we go. Ooh, oh, that's gonna be a good one. Oh my goodness. Wow. All right, I think we got enough here, eh? Okay. Ooh, these are some good ones. So, all right, I'm gonna put these. Okay. So the first one, beauty. I'm going to read the book on these two guys. Oh, look at that. Opened up right to it. Appreciate and amplify your natural attractiveness. Your beauty is most apparent when you're happy and satisfied. Now, when they say appreciate and amplify your natural attractiveness, I think sometimes people think, oh, should I get my hair done? Oh, should I do my makeup? It's about shining from the inside out. How many people do we know that don't wear makeup, right? Just like, whoo. I mean, there have been times when I have not worn anything more than maybe mascara and lipstick if I had to go to work. If I didn't have to go to work, nothing. I just go to the grocery store, pull my hair up, do something decent with my hair so I don't look like I just rolled out of bed, which I think actually right now, even though I did do my hair, it looks like I rolled out of bed. But, excuse me one moment. I think what they're talking about is when we take care of our self-care, when we take care of our self-love, when we look at ourselves in the mirror and we don't go, ugh, but instead we go, hey, look at you, fancy pants. Or I heart you. When we start to believe these things that we say about ourselves, that, enhancement and appreciating and amplifying your natural attractiveness is going to come from the inside out. You're going to shine. You're going to glow. Like I said, there have been days when I haven't had any makeup on and I've just literally probably thrown my hair back into a ponytail. And I've been in a great mood, smiling, good morning, hello, good afternoon, whatever. And people just respond because you're shining. Because you've taken that time to really kind of just be comfortable with who you are. And that's really what life is all about, right? That's the biggest part for us, is to be comfortable with who we are and to love who we are, to really respect that person that is walking in this body. No matter what size you think you are, no matter how tall or short you think you are you. And you are perfect just the way you are. You're perfectly imperfect just the way you are. Beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. We see the card beauty, right? And the first thing we think is, oh, well, I'm not that person. How do you know? Okay, maybe you've been put down by people. Maybe you've been ridiculed. Maybe you've been bullied. I've been all those things. And my mom and dad never gave up on me, especially my mother. And what do I always say that my mother always says? Repeat it with me if you remember it. I do not make ugly babies. That was my mom. I do not make ugly babies. And I don't know where this is coming from with you. Well, eventually she found out. I had childhood trauma that my parents didn't know about. And so once they realized that, a lot of my thought processes started to make sense. But the one thing I've learned along the way, and I'm going to repeat it, what you say is what you hear. What you hear is what you process. And what you process is what you're going to end up seeing. So if you're consistently talking negative about yourself, if you're consistently speaking negative about your situation, remember, I'm a magnet. I'm looking at something right now that just happened to pop onto my screen. I am a money magnet. I am financially free. Okay? But you can't just say it like that. Yeah, I'm this. No, you have to say it with meaning. I am a beautiful human being. I'm attractive to other people. I am loved. I am beloved by other people. I am beloved by other people. I know. Oh, reel in the ego there, Shelley Ray. So anyways, we are all attractive in our own unique way. Part of self-esteem is appreciating how wonderful you truly are. Never, ever put yourself down in any way. There is an exclamation point at the end of this. Never, ever put yourself down in any way. If you put yourself down, just say, nope, you know what? I refuse to believe that. I am a beautiful person. So if you sit there and say, ugh, God, I look ugly today. Or, God, I hate my hair today. Sometimes we get that way, right? God, I hate my hair today. So case in point, last week I had to go pick my dad up from the airport. And I was talking to older sibling on the way there. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to sit in the harbor, not in the harbor, but by the harbor. And wait for my dad. Because I thought better to be in the area than not in the area, right? So I'm like, I'm just going to chill. Well, it was a very overcasting day. And of course, the harbor is sea air. And all the way there, I kept complaining to older sibling, oh my God, my hair is nothing but a frizzy poof ball. I'm pretty sure it's so bulletproof right now. It looks like, an expanded version of Darth Vader's helmet. Maybe like, what was the one in Spaceballs, Rick Moranis' character with that big helmet? And it was just like, I complained the whole time. And then nature got back at me because I went to take a selfie to show her how poofy my hair was. And I literally got out of the car and the sea air just worked her magic on my hair. And I was like, wow. Wow. I was impressed. I mean, if you follow me on Facebook, you probably saw it too, because I was like, wow, I got to share this. It's amazing. But yeah, but I kept putting myself down. And then, Mother Nature told me by just the picture that I saw, hey, you know what? If you put a little care into it, it's not going to be that bad. I mean, I could have just pulled my hair up, but I didn't, So anyways, part of self-esteem is appreciating how wonderful you truly are. So never, ever put yourself down in any way. Always think self-loving thoughts about your body, your face, your hair, your weight, and every inch of your physical self. All right, I'm going to repeat that because I know a lot of us struggle, especially in the weight and the physical self department. Always think self-loving thoughts about your body, your face, your hair, your weight, and every single mother effing inch of yourself. Yeah, I added that part. Tell yourself positive affirmations daily, such as, my inner light radiates through every pore and cell of my body, and everyone is attracted to my inner and outer beauty. That's a lot, but I'll put it in the comments. My inner light radiates through every pore and cell of my body, and everyone is attracted to my inner and outer beauty. Invest time and money in services that make you feel wonderful, such as massages, facials, manicures, and pedicures, soaking in a tub, or getting a new hairstyle. Now, you don't always have to spend money on yourself for self-care, but these are some of the tips that they're giving you to, to maybe enhance, yourself. Or you can, if you know how to do all this stuff, just, do it. Maybe one day you're sitting there and going, I'm not going anywhere, but I feel like putting makeup on. And sometimes we'll sit there and go, well, why? I'm not going anywhere. Who cares? Just do it anyway. Make yourself happy. Spend time in meaningful ways that make you feel joyous, and you will glow with the attractiveness of a truly happy person. So the affirmation, my inner and outer selves are radiantly attractive right now. I love my beautiful self. I love my beautiful self. All right, so that's one. The next one, letting go. That was another big part of my journey that was absolutely horrible, hard, terrifying, because it's change. And last night, after doing a lot of the work that I did, I realized that, sometimes change happens every moment, right? I mean, I took a sip of my coffee cup. It's no longer completely full. That's change. I know, you're thinking, that's stupid. No, it's not. It's change, right? I took another sip. My body was caffeine free until now. I know I'm not supposed to have caffeine, but I'm taking it slow so I don't be like la 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 at you. But anyways, letting go is more than just about change. Letting go is letting go of the negative thoughts, letting go of what you don't have. Sometimes we spend so much time focusing on what we don't have that's the flow that we constantly bring in. When we are at zero in that bank account, or we're at negative in that bank account, we have to remind ourselves that it's going to get better. But if we focus on that zero, or we focus on that negative, all we're going to do is continually bring in situations that upend us and continually feed us these negative things these things to be negative about, these things to not believe in. When you're at that level, believing is the hardest freaking thing you're going to be asked to do, but you have to do it. You can't just say a mantra and expect it to happen. Mantras work when you put feeling behind it, when you put love behind it, when you put trust behind it. Okay, so letting go. You aren't receiving positive results because you're struggling too much to solve the problem. By letting go, you're opening up to a miraculous resolution. So again, another self-care tip, right? I mean, I know this is a little bit different than our normal self-care. I decided to go with the boxes today because I felt so compelled to it, because a lot of times we miss the message from whoever our higher power is, or the universe. And so, with this, it really is about letting go. Maybe not that dramatically, but hey, if you want to be that dramatic, go for it. Problems are caused by human thinking and action. That's why problems aren't solved by additional human thinking and action. When we think hard or struggle to resolve a crisis, things can actually get worse. By drawing this card, you are being asked to stop the human struggle. Stop thinking about the problem, since a focus on negativity can manifest even more negativity. So there you go. I mean, you know, when you sit there and you pray, you don't say, "Dear God, keep giving me all this crappy stuff," right? No, you finally hit your bottom and you say, "Dear God, please, I could use some help." But don't beg. Say, "You know what? Thank you for this help. I appreciate the help that you were throwing at me, the opportunities, the whatever it is that you're praying about." And then be grateful. You know, amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Or if it's the universe or whatever higher power you lean into. You know, I'm so happy and grateful that the situation has a resolution. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right? It's all about those things. It's all about being positive. So, stop thinking about the problem, since a focus on negativity can manifest even more negativity. Say aloud or silently, "I am willing to surrender this situation to my Creator right now. I am willing to surrender this situation to my Creator right now." By affirming this statement, heaven is able to intervene on your behalf. You will instantly feel relief and will be gratified to see how easily and naturally this situation resolves itself. The affirmation: "I am willing to surrender this situation to my Creator right now. When I let go, everything turns out perfectly." Now, interestingly enough, the other night, I decided, I told older sibling yesterday, I kind of forgot where we were going, but we were out and about. And, I just told her, I said, "I finally surrendered my situation. You know, I was praying last night and I'm just like, I can't do this by myself anymore. I'm out. So I'm gonna let the Creator take care of it." So, and you know, and then slowly things started to make sense. So, the next card is visualization. I'm not going to read the book on this one because I think the book was meant for the first two that we had, and I will put those affirmations in the comments, and if you're following on YouTube, they will be in the comments there as well. But visualization, we had this in the earlier card deck, the self-care deck. Do a vision board, do a visualization. You can do the zero visualization, where you bring everything down to zero, which is kind of what the Ho'oponopono is about. It's about clearing that, you know, whiteboard of your life, right? It's about clearing all this crap off. And it's about getting back to zero. Cleaning everything. Ho'oponopono is basically like cleaning everything. And it's about really kind of using that mantra. "I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you." And a lot of people do it in different ways. That's the way I learned it. "I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you." When I was getting certified, that's the way I learned it. But when I'm working on other people, I actually meditate on how the formation should be. And when it corrects itself back to the way I learned it, I know that, you know, it's worked. And I know it's working. So, when it comes to visualization, you have to believe. I'm glad, Sammy. Thank you for that feedback. New opportunities can come when you see yourself, when you look at the beauty of who you are and you radiate from the inside out. And when you let go of what you can't control. I'm a control freak, and not intentionally. It was how I protected myself for a lot of years. And it was the only way I knew to keep everything safe in my orbit, in my little planetary orbit of Shelley Marie. It's how I learned how to keep things safe. And I probably came off as being a bitch or an asshole or very standoffish or very shy, but it's because there was so much happening, and my little brain at the time couldn't, you know, my young brain at the time didn't know what to do. So that's how I learned to do it. But unfortunately, when you teach yourself a certain way and you grow with it, it becomes a very hard habit to break. And so again, you know, letting go. Oh, this was a new opportunity. Sorry. Letting go can be so important. Surrendering to the situation doesn't mean you're giving up. What it means is that you stopped running from it and now you're facing it. And it's up to you to win. It's up to you to beat it. And you can. You have that power. We all have that power. We've all survived crappy things in our life, right? Some more than others. But whatever it is, that situation is ours. And if it felt super shitty and it felt super crappy, don't compare it to somebody else's. Fix it. Surrender to it. Stop running from the fear, turn around, face it, and like I said, in a very non-literal sense, punch it in the face. And by that I mean, if it's a person, please, like I said, run to the police station. You don't want to get yourself into trouble. All right, let them get into trouble. But like I said, it can also bring new opportunities. So new opportunities are a wonderful, wonderful thing. They can bring us that peace of mind that we're looking for, right? So interesting. I was putting the card in there because I'm gonna put the mantra and the affirmations for new opportunity in there as well. But the next one said new location. Wow. I don't doubt older sibling. I think I would struggle anywhere I move far away. But I know I'd also survive because that's what I do. I'm a survivor. And I'm learning how to survive and thrive. So, is this it? Oh, procrastination. I don't know who needs to see that, but if you need to see it, procrastination, besides me, right? Because I am the class A procrastinator. I really am. All right, come on. This is the Heal Yourself reading cards. This is what we're going to finish with. But these are great because they have a little exercise at the end. It's intuitive guidance to transform your soul. This has been very helpful for me along my journey. There have been times when I've just said, you know what, God, I really need some help and I really need an answer. And he's gone to the cards for me. So a lot of people think cards are evil. They are not evil. If they're used the right way. Here's a little tip. In the tarot deck, you have the Devil card and you have the Death card. 99.9% of the time, it is not going to bring the devil to you. And it doesn't necessarily mean death. The Death card in the tarot deck is actually about change. It's about an ending and a beginning. See, death isn't the end. It's the beginning, right? You have birth, death, birth again. And, it just kind of, it's a constant flow. It's a cycle. And I know a lot of times that we freak out when we see these, right? Because movies have a tendency to make things bad because, it's scary sells, right? When it's the Devil card is actually about your ego. And it's actually about, excuse me, sorry. Oh, there it is. I am so sorry. Anyways, that was gross. But the Devil card is actually about us seeing ourselves and how we see ourselves. It's about that card, the beauty card, right? Where, don't put yourself down. Don't, let the negativity in your head get to you. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, older sibling. But anyways, it's about letting go of all that negativity. So interestingly enough, the card that came up is healing. All right. Well, I think we've talked enough about healing, so I'm just going to go right to the card and read it. Let's see. Illness and pain in your body is a message for you to slow down, look within, and make important changes. So if you're already slowed down, it's time to look within and make important changes. If you are experiencing stress, feel overwhelmed, are suffering ailments in your body, or feel exhausted and depressed, it means that your body is trying to communicate with you. Your body wants you to start treating it in a more loving manner and listening to the messages it is sending you. You need to become conscious of the areas in your life that you are avoiding or suppressing. Healing takes time. It is a process. Your first step towards healing is to create a safe, loving, supportive environment where you can listen to your inner wisdom. This also helps when you have people that you can lean into, or, so if anybody does the deep dive into Google about how to deep heal, you might come across Carl Jung's shadow work, which absolutely fabulous. But if you have a lot of shadow work to do, if you have a lot of internal gunk that maybe you've been suppressing, maybe you've been hiding, maybe you've been holding in, please consider not doing it alone. Even if you do it by yourself, you don't have to share what your journey is with other people. If you want to, I highly suggest therapy. Counseling is not a bad thing, okay? I know that we've kind of put the stigma on therapy, but therapy is basically, it's a neutral zone. It's a place for you to talk to somebody who is absolutely removed from your life, except maybe once a week for an hour at a time, right? It's that one person that's there that is kind of helps you, kind of helps steer you, right? You are the captain of your ship. They help you navigate it. They're the ones who can read the stars and say, hey, and they're teaching you how to do these things. You know, they're co-piloting for you. They're teaching you how to see these things, what to see. They're looking out for the bumps in the road for you and showing you how to navigate them in a healthy way. Shadow work was not for the faint of heart for me. But I'm lucky because, just like in this book, I have a very supportive environment. And I have people that understand the journey that I was on. So I did undertake it myself. I am back in therapy, though. And I'm back in therapy because there's things I need to work through. There's this finish line that I really want to cross. And for some reason, I'm just struggling to do it. So I feel like it's a good place for me. I'm telling you, every time I leave therapy, I feel like I want to conquer the world. Because, you know, it's something inside of me that says, hey, you know what? She's right. And basically, it's like she's in my head telling me what I don't want to tell me, what I can't seem to tell me. So you may think, oh, why are you spending your time and money on that? Well, because they help. They really do help. And if you know what, if you don't feel like your therapist or your analyst is the right person, you are allowed to switch. Okay, you do not have to stay with somebody who does not resonate with you. So I know it can be hard because then you probably have to go through intake with somebody else. If you know you have a certain place where you go where there's a lot of therapists, maybe you can just ask to see another one. Just say, look, I'm really sorry, we're just not a fit. Therapists understand this. Therapists understand that they may not be the fit that you need. I have been very fortunate that I have always fallen in the right place, so I don't have to switch. But here's the action. Take a few deep breaths and relax your body. You can breathe into the count of 4, out to the count of 8. If you're worried you're going to pass out, breathe into the count of 8 and out to the count of 8. All right? And don't be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it for a beat. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And a lot of times too, when you're freaking out or you're just having these mind-blowing moments, you can do the deep breathing. Deep breathing can actually help recenter you, or at least get you to a place where you can be functional and move forward and get to a safe place for yourself. So again, take a few deep breaths and relax your body. Place your hands on an area in your body where you have pain. And now, if you don't have physical pain, maybe you have emotional pain, put it over your heart. You know, your little soul cabin, right? The cabin of your soul. And just, you know, I'm trying, but my mic is in the way. But you just put your hand over your heart and just say, okay. Or maybe it's your head. Maybe you got a lot of stuff that's hurting you on the inside. Not necessarily a physical manifestation of pain, but an emotional pain. And you can just, you know, be cognizant of where you know, the first thing that pops into your head. You know, if you feel like you got to put your hand over your heart, if it's an emotional pain, or a hand over your head, to just remind you, this is what I need to focus on. I need to think on thinking better thoughts. I need to have better self-love. If it's a manifestation of a physical pain, then, you know, wherever your pain is, ask your body, is there a message you want to give me? This message may come to you as thoughts, words, images, insights, feelings, and memories, etc. I have 2 charts of how emotional pain can manifest into physical pain. I will put those in the comments on Facebook. I can't figure out how to do that on YouTube yet, but if you are on YouTube and watching this, you can go to my Facebook page. It's under Shelly Marie Lucas. All the lives are public, so you just have to look up my name, go through it, look for today's, and then look in the comments, and I will put it in there. But it is a chart, a front and a back chart of different, how pain manifests in different ways from worries, right? If you have that lower back pain and you're just like, what the hell? You know, that it's like the common typical pain. What's going on in your mind? If you're worried about financial, you know, stuff, then you're going to have that underlying back pain. And I know this because I remember one time I was so panicked and so worried about this, and my back went out. But interestingly enough, so, you know, like my tiny miracle happened, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, and I felt better. And then within less than a day, my back was feeling better, which for me, when I throw out my back normally, it takes days for me to like really kind of get back to feeling almost normal, and then feeling normal. So I know a lot of people don't believe that, but I really do believe that we can manifest a physical pain depending on what our worries are. All right. So, again, ask your body, is there a message you want to give me? This message may come to you as thoughts, words, images, insights, feelings, and memories, etc. Say, I call on my divine healing intelligence to help release all pain, blockages, and density from this area. Watch and feel as dense energy leaves your body. Now, you have to believe that this is going to work. Some people are going to put their hand on there and go, this is dumb. This is basically like Reiki 101. And I also, I'm also, okay, I'm a certified master, Reiki master. I'm a certified Reiki master. I know. I have so much energy floating inside of me, guys. I had to figure out a way to really kind of focus it somewhere. So again, watch and feel as it leaves your body. So, say I call on my divine healing intelligence to infuse this area with a green ray of light. If you like angels, that would be Archangel Raphael. I ask that all the immune mechanisms of my body be activated and my body now return to a state of perfect balance and health. You can do this daily. Okay, I know people who have meditated their pain away. I know, you're like, yeah, right. But you know what? When you have that yeah, right attitude, that's why it's not going to work. So you have to believe 100% that this is going to work. And you have to do it daily. It's not just a one-off. You know, I mean, if you have chronic pain, I'm not saying this is going to help alleviate all the problems, but if nothing else, the meditation might actually help you get into a place where you can center and kind of zero in on the pain, and then just kind of, you know, if you become one with it, it's not going to hurt as much. And I know you're probably like, you're talking out of your fucking ass. Well, maybe. But I may not have chronic pain, but I do have pain in certain areas. I tore my knee years ago, and then I had it surgically fixed, and then I tore the damn thing again. And it every so often, it just, I mean, it cracks all the time because I'm basically bone on bone. But according to my doctor, I'm not old enough, which is not a bad thing. I have an old lady knee, but I'm not old enough to have knee surgery. So knee replacement, I should say. So, you know, I'll take that as like a sideways compliment, like, okay, great, I'm in pain, but thanks, I'm not old enough. So again, I call on my divine healing intelligence to infuse this area with a green ray of light. I ask that all immune mechanisms of my body be activated and my body now return to a state of perfect health and balance. Imagine a green light moving through your body and repairing it. Gently bring your awareness back to normal and open your eyes. Now again, I know some people are saying, you're full of shit. Well, you know what? Maybe not. But how do we know unless we try? How do we know unless we try? If we don't try, you're never going to know. You can sit there all day and say, Shelly Marie, you're full of crap. But other people might say, you know what? I've tried everything else. Let me try this. Let me try this along with all my other stuff that I'm doing. And we'll see what happens. And like I said, I know a girl who started meditating, started exercising, and she went into remission with her CRPS. And personally, for me, she's an inspiration, you know, because it's like, wow, I don't have chronic pain, but I know people who do. And all I can think of is, you know what, this is cool. Because, you know, you can alleviate a lot of things by just believing in yourself. And that's a big part of self-care, is believing in yourself and having that self-love. So remember, in that tool belt of your life, your two most priceless tools that you will ever carry with you is self-love and self-care. If those tools are broken or they've gone missing or you don't have them in your tool belt yet, find them, put them in there. I know it can be a struggle at the beginning, but trust me, the more you say it, the more you say, hey, you're looking fine today, person, you know, sister, bro, whatever you call yourself in the mirror. Don't make the faces, don't make the ugly faces at yourself. No matter what you think you look like, embrace you. Stop running from it. You want to change. But don't put yourself down. Don't put yourself down, because that's not doing you any favors. So again, if you want to change it. But don't make everybody else uncomfortable by putting yourself down either. You know, there's a great scene in Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married? And this girl is, you know, she's with this really attractive guy, and he's fit and everything, and she's plus size, and she's like, well, you know, but he had fallen in love with her because he didn't care, because she just had this beautiful spirit. And he says, look, if you don't like the way you look, change it. But you putting yourself down all the time, it makes me uncomfortable, and it makes me uncomfortable for you. And I'm kind of paraphrasing on how they put it. And then, as older sibling pointed out, there's a big bell ding in the background, and she's all, that's on purpose. That's to drive that point home. Even though it's a background noise, it's meant to go ding, like, oh, right? Because it's not just plus size people that sometimes feel bad. I know plus size people who love themselves, who are just so comfortable in their bodies. And I know skinny people who are not. I've been both. I've been plus size and skinny, and I've never loved myself. And now I'm trying to change that narrative because I'm too freaking old to hate myself any longer. It's pointless. I just figure I'm going to go the rest of my life just loving myself. Why not? It didn't work for the first 50 years, so let's try the next 50 and see how that turns out. So yeah, why not flip the script? Flip the script, change the narrative, and just love yourself. Practice your self-love, practice your self-care. I'm going to put those 3 cards in, I'm going to do New Opportunity in there as well. The mantras and the affirmations for those in the Facebook comments and on the YouTube comments. But again, if I can't I've never been able to figure out how to put pictures in there. So if you want to see the chart for pain, just go to the Facebook live. Go to my Facebook live under Shelly Marie Lucas. And go into the comments and I'll put them in there. Okay, so it's a very interesting chart. And what's interesting about it too is, for the longest time my knee was hurting so bad that I had to kind of one-leg it down the stairs, and I couldn't figure out why. And then that's when I actually decided, you know what, I'm going to look up the spiritual meaning for this pain. And when I started working on that, the pain started going away. And now, I mean, I don't run down the stairs. The last time I did that, I fell down the stairs, but I'm not shitting you. My foot went out from underneath me. It felt like someone pushed me. But seriously, I'm fine. I can do it. And, you know, I mean, yeah, there are changes I have to make in my own life, but I think the first change we need to make is what's in here. So love yourself. Take care of yourself. Appreciate who you are and why you're here. And love everybody. We can't control everything, so just surrender. Just surrender. Face that fear. All right? Again, don't run away from it. Run at it. Run at it and say, hey, you know what? I'm taking my power back. You don't scare me anymore. We're gonna throw down if we have to. All right? So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Like I said, it is Self-Care Wednesday, so please, please, please take extra care of yourself. I always put these in the middle of the week because it's the middle of the work week. And I think if you're struggling by Wednesday, hopefully these tips will help to get you through to Friday. Also, I made it public to the public. Today's card is about Freya, the goddess Freya, the Nordic goddess Freya. So go read that because she's who Friday is named after. So go love yourself. Have a great, great day, everybody. I'll see you back here tomorrow for Thursday. Things to think on Thursday. 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelly Marie Lucas. You can also catch this on my Facebook page, The Aloha Perspective, and my YouTube page, as I've been talking about it, The Aloha Perspective as well. If you follow me on Twitter, you will probably see the posts there as well. So thank you, everybody who's joined me live. Whether I saw you or not, I appreciate you. And have a great, great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching.